Guys, there might be some news that's causing FUD, but don't be afraid. And what I'm talking about is the Terra Luna law case, and the judge there rejected the XRP ruling, saying that he does not indeed agree that there is a distinction between retail sales and institutional sales, whether a coin is a security or not. But let's get a few things straight. Many people believe this means the SEC has won against Do Kwon and Terra Luna. That's not what it means. The SEC has not won the case. They just have successfully defended against dismissal. So the judge is not going to dismiss the case without a trial of some sort, right? But it does not mean the SEC has actually won the case. They still have to go through the trial. Both sides' lawyers still have to present arguments, and it can be a long time. This, however, even though it's in the same district and the judge rejected the reasoning there, he did not say whether they're securities or not. And the thing is, like, it doesn't overturn the prior decision in the last lawsuit. It just means other judges may not follow suit. And if the SEC wants to appeal, it still has to go through the formal process of appeal because the 10-day introductory appeal is gone. It has to go through a formal appeal, and it will take several years for that to actually happen, assuming they win at the appellate level, which is not very likely to happen. And that's, I think, why the SEC is actually going over Terra Luna and Hex, because they are going after low-hanging fruit. Because let's be honest here, Terra Luna and Hex are definitely low-hanging fruit. They're basically two projects that most crypto pundits will agree are, like, essentially were scams or are scams, regardless of whether you like Gary Gensler or not, which no one actually does in the crypto industry, by the ways. So they're going after the very low-hanging fruit to score some wins, to bolster their case for an appeal. But an appeal will take several years, and until that appeal comes down, XRP status does not change. And of course, we have the Coinbase lawsuit in the same district, and it depends heavily on which way the judge on that leans. If Coinbase wins the suit, then it's like the nail in the coffin for the SEC. Secondary sales are not going to be securities, and I think it's going to be very, very hard for people to go against multiple rulings. But they're going after the Hex and Luna because they're low-hanging fruit that pretty much, and they're from characters the crypto industry generally does not like as a whole, so the SEC may not have a huge PR problem pursuing Terra Luna and Hex. But don't get it mixed up that the SEC has won against Terra Luna. They have not. They just have gotten the case to not be dismissed based on those grounds. The judge has actually not said whether Terra Luna is actually culpable or guilty of the things that the SEC has charged them. So it's still inconclusive right now, and I do think that a lot of the pundits in the crypto world are overreacting to this. It does not override the XRP ruling, and it does not change XRP's status. And I don't know how much it affects the rest of crypto either. There's still the Coinbase lawsuit, like I said, and if that comes out in our favor, then the SEC has received the nail in the coffin. But yeah, low-hanging fruit they're going after. I wouldn't worry too much about it. So not I think people are just worrying a little too much, and we have to see what actually happens. Binance Japan has started onboarding. CZ said they were going to do this at the beginning of August, and they have done this. Binance, although it's gotten kicked out of a lot of jurisdictions, it is actually being revived in other jurisdictions. Now they have a haven in Japan, and they have a haven in the Middle East. And I think there are going to be significant amounts of users that use VPNs to actually use Binance. I would not recommend doing it because if you're in one of the jurisdictions or one of the countries that Binance does not allow, you use Binance, they find out, they can kick you out, and you might not actually get your money back. So just use either a DEX or a crypto exchange that's viable in your own country. But Binance does not seem to be like croaking or folding. Their Japanese division is starting to onboard users, and Japan has a lot of crypto aficionados. I'm pretty sure they will be more than happy that Binance has actually come to Japan. So BNB might be worth a look at. I still think it's a little too high in price to actually buy right now. And I think it's like way too expensive to actually buy right now because of the legal troubles. But once the bull run gets kicking, especially if like it reconciles and like gets like a license in Germany or something, or like gets invited back to some of those countries it got kicked out from, which could actually happen as the crypto market develops, we can look at BNB again. But right now, still not really a good buy, I don't think, at this point. But yeah, it's very good to see Binance actually making inroads in other countries at this point. Cardano wants to onboard 5 million users. Now, the value of each one of those users is probably going to be pretty low because they are looking through K through 12 people in Ethiopia. Ethiopia has a lot of people, but as we know, K through 12 people generally don't have a lot of money, and especially in a non-Western country like Ethiopia, the value of each user is probably going to be fairly low. But 5 million is a lot of users for Cardano. And the thing is, like, they're looking at onboarding everyone below the age of 25. Some of those people are going to have credit and they are going to buy houses and things like that. So it's a very exciting prospect. I think it's very good for Cardano. I don't think it'll affect prices anytime soon. Charles has said it's a slow process because there is a lot of bureaucracy getting in the way. But this, I believe, is on the public blockchain. It is an ID system. So some of you who are against KYC, AML, privacy will not like it all that much. But for Cardano investors, this is very, very good news. You know, any kind of transactions, real live human transactions for a blockchain are going to be good for the chain. It will pretty much erase the ghost chain thing. Cardano's not a ghost chain anyways. Like, there are transactions happening on Cardano and there is DeFi happening on Cardano. A couple of us do actually use MinSwap and other things. So there are a lot of projects running on it, but this will give like guaranteed use case for ID and identification for millions of people in an African country. Once again, there's not a lot of, I don't think there's a huge amount of money coming in from this. And because of that, it might not affect prices all that much in the short-term future or anytime like foreseeable. Probably not for the next several years, but overall, it is another use case for Cardano. It could actually spur some action in like a bull run market, but right now it is just the foundation and the building blocks for what's going on. Also, the stuff that's been happening in Ethereum with both Coinbase and with Curve probably does help Cardano a little bit because people are seeing that both Solidity and Viper may not be all that viable for smart contracts because especially Viper, because they do actually have cracks and they do have exploits. And obviously crypto people don't want their money stolen. You know, the Coinbase base thing was only $600,000, but the Curve thing was a whopping $1.5 billion, even though some of that's going to get paid back. Not all of it is. And if people lose a lot of money from that, they might lose some confidence in the EVM system. As far as I know, all EVM protocols that use Viper could actually be affected. And that definitely does not bode well for Ethereum. And that gives other layer 2s, other layer 1s like Cardano, a chance to jump in and grab some of the pie. Maybe it's the thing they're actually waiting for. AI coins might be going way, way up. So I think it'd be prudent to actually have at least one AI coin in your portfolio right now if you're making up your portfolio right now. Both Microsoft, like all of Microsoft, Intel, Facebook, all the big companies have had drastically increased their AI chatter up by as much as 50x in terms of like what they're going to do with AI, especially since ChatGPT is going to come out. So obviously AI is going to be a big narrative. Sequoia has actually taken some of their crypto fund and invested in an AI fund. But if you have both AI and crypto, that might be the ticket, you know, maybe like AGIX, maybe Fetch AI, maybe some of the newer ones that have actually come in. You should definitely look into the AI market. I would still recommend going with some of the older coins that have been in the AI market because they are a little bit more dependable and they are less likely to die than the new ones coming in. Yes, the ROI might not be as high, but generally I don't think there's an AI coin in crypto that's that high in market cap. So I think all these AI coins still have a good multiplier to go, and one of them will definitely catch the wave. One of them will definitely catch the FOMO on the way up, and it will skyrocket up. I don't really know which one it is. I would bet my money on Fetch AI or AGIX just because those are the two known ones. There are things like, you know, GRT. Some people are saying that Jasmy's even AI, but I think it's more like IoT. So like there's going to be a lot of coins shilling that they are AI in the coming weeks. You have to do your research very carefully because some of those coins actually have not much to do with AI. They're really in other industries. You know, like Web3 and other stuff that don't have much to do with AI, but they're going to try to pretend that they have AI potential to get some of your money. And you really shouldn't fall for that because you want your money invested in the right place. Once again, do research, pick coins that have been around for a year or two at least, so they can't just like go kaput. And yeah, I mean, like, but you do want some kind of AI exposure in your crypto portfolio just because all the big tech companies are talking about it. And the AI coins, can have a chance to actually get adopted by big tech, and that FOMO will actually be there for your AI coins. So AI is definitely a good play, and I do think like AI is going to play a huge part in our future. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.